This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
And welcome back, everybody. I think we minimize how important our back, our spine, everything that's going on in our bodies. A lot of that is the core. And we don't realize how important that is. Sometimes you figure it out when you get an injury or as you start to get older and you realize that the back hurts a little bit more, get a little bit of neck pain or hurts a little bit more when we get out of bed or up here and there. We're going to talk about that today, go a little bit deeper into it. Chiropractic care and also targeted massage. And he is the man behind all of that at the Spine Spot, located in North Richland Hills, Texas. Great to have him back with us. Dr. David Kinnison is on the program. How are you doing today?
Doing good, Steve. How are you doing today?
Good. I'm due for a massage. It's like
I could use one too.
Right. How funny. It's easier for you than me. Do you let's go there. I'm kind of curious. Somebody like you, with a wellness center like you have, are there times where you walk into the massage therapist and it's like, hey, you got an opening schedule? Yeah, can you take care of me? Do you do that?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you just get doing your thing and you forget about it, and then the day's over and you're like, 10 minutes, 15, just a little. I got this thing right here, or I got that thing right there. Just let's grind it out a little bit, and they get busy, I get busy, and then the day's over and I'm driving home going, oh man. So, but yeah, every once in a while we'll get in and say, hey, can you help me out? I'll help you out. And that trade and barter thing.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's better than the door jam. Yeah, I get. You ever do that? Like you go over to the door, and then you just that one spot
that corner right there.
Yes, exactly right. I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but
it's all good.
When somebody is in your center, and let's say they're doing massage, maybe maybe it's a targeted massage for an issue, whatever it might be. Does it often blend chiropractic care, and how do you make that decision? Which one should come first?
Well, typically as a chiropractor, I'm gonna say chiropractic comes first. I mean, obviously, massage therapists say, "Oh, I think massage should come first." Different philosophies, different thoughts. My dad, he goes, once I do my adjustment, I don't want anybody messing with my work. I did the work. I don't want it messed up. So he would rather have them get the massage first. And there are cases when, let's do that. There are some cases where you adjusted them. You're like, man, I think you got a little bit more going on at this trap or this low back. Let's see if we can get your schedule this afternoon or after the appointment or tomorrow morning or whatever. And let's focus in and see if we can loosen that up. The nerves control the muscles. So if I take the pressure off the nerves, hopefully the muscles will relax. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it takes a little help. And that's where the massage therapist will come in and say, hey, focus in on the rhomboids, the trap, and the lats on that right side, and let's see if we can get them loosened up.
What's unique about your center is you can talk to each other. So you have, John Doe patients, and let's say massage was done. I would imagine the massage therapist can echo to you, I took care of it, but might need a little bit of adjustment there, C3 or whatever it might be. I know nothing about chiropractic, by the way, but
you did C3.
Is there a C3?
That's right up here.
Oh, okay.
Top part of the neck, yeah.
Maybe I'm remembering it because a chiropractor told me that I might have had an issue with one, or if some needed an adjustment. There's got to be a reason why it's stuck in my head. I didn't come up with that.
Yeah.
Wow. But do you guys talk, between each
absolutely.
other? Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think it's vital that, if somebody comes in, we've had a lot of people come in for just the massage. And when they come up to the front desk, I greet and say, so-and-so Lacey or Claire is going to be your massage therapist. And I say anything particular that you're wanting to have worked on today, any specific issues. And sometimes, I got this, I got that. Usually it's, just kind of a general massage has been a little while, and then I'll go back to the back and let them know, say, hey, Mary wants you to focus on that neck, upper back area on the right side. It's kinked up, but kind of gander, everywhere else that they might have some challenges too.
Outside of accidents, do you hear a lot of the same things when patients come for chiropractic care or thinking they need it?
Yeah, a lot of, they don't realize that they do need it. That's probably the biggest. They go, well,
Hmm.
the lady, a new patient yesterday, she's never been to a chiropractor, and she's probably in her 30s. Um, and what you don't know, you don't know. If you don't know that you might feel better, it's just like working out. It's like changing your eating habits. It's like anything, if you don't make a change, you don't know what you might end up with in terms of feeling better or looser or things of that nature. But, you know, um, they typically don't realize, that more goes along to just, oh, I got a pain. It's that overall wellness, the overall waking up feeling good. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, you're at the office and you're just dragging, and you've been getting adjusted for a while more consistently. You're like, oh man, I'm not tired in the afternoon anymore. I actually finish my day and I can make it home without falling asleep. So those are some of the little things that I've noticed when people ask us, like, what have you noticed different?
Wow.
Oh, I'm sleeping better, or I'm not tired at the end of the day, or that indigestion. I don't get that indigestion anymore.
You're reading my mind. I was just about to say that because there are things that present that you would never know the connection. Now, I've dealt with, minor ulcers over the years and, that's pretty much mitigated. It's all good. Reflex and things like that. But in my body, when I'm dealing with, some stress that leads to some, call it digestion challenges, it feels like I'm tired. I'm not even kidding. It's a weird feeling, or sometimes it hurts in the, in my back. And how do I know? I just press my stomach right here. I was like, oh, it went away. All right, that's what it is today. Okay, no
Yeah.
problem. But those things you don't realize that they're making you feel a certain way. For me, like, I'm feeling lethargic. Like, what is that? Oh, yeah, I ate something, yesterday. That's what
Mm-hmm.
I got to imagine, even with on the chiropractic level, that because there's so much going on in your spine, it could feel like other things and you might not even realize it, right?
Exactly. Um, the body, when it's in I'll call it a crisis mode, burns more energy. If you're stressed out, you're burning a lot of energy. That's why at the end of the day, you're just wiped out. If you have, you know, something going on, indigestion, we'll just stick with that since that's the topic of choice right now. If the stomach is and the body is like, that's burning energy. So your body only has so much energy it can give before it goes and just give that on you. So if we can release that interference, that problem, and get it doing better, then the body's not all bound up and stressed. So that energy level or energy expulsion, will drop down and you'll feel better and you'll have more energy.
What are some of the other things that we might feel if we're off a little bit in terms of chiropractics?
Uh, you may not even know. I mean, sometimes, I still, like I said, get adjusted as often as I can. At least I try to at least once a week. Doesn't always happen. But you just you just feel off. I don't necessarily have a pain or ache or a particular symptom. I just, you know, I feel kind of fuzzy.
Mm.
You just don't feel sharp. You get adjusted. Usually, I'll clear it up and maybe a couple days get another adjustment, follow up, and move right along and keep going.
Wow. Yeah, isn't that crazy that you might be feeling just not you, but you're not really sure what it is. It could even
Yeah,
get to the point where it's like, I feel like I'm getting sick. I feel like,
yeah.
just depleted. I don't know what is it. And it's a chiropractic issue. When we say chiropractic, is it the spine, the neck? Is it just that, or does that encompass the skeletal system?
Everything. I actually adjust ears. People, you get the ear that get that stopped up, um, watery, like you gotta have a pool, or I get in there, hey doc, can you pull my ears? I'm like, yeah, what? And it pop, it actually click. They're like, my dad used to do it to me all the time when I was growing up. Hated it, hurt, but I never had any ear infections. Who knows? Was that the cause or the reason why I wasn't getting ear infections, or was I just lucky? I don't know.
Mm,
Um, Sinuses, people that get sinus problems, I got an instrument and I tap on the sinuses. A lot of times things will start to clear up. Wrists, elbows, I got a lot of wrist stuff. People working on computers all day, or they're on their phones all day, and their wrists get stiff, their elbows get tight, and I'll
sure.
adjust those. Are they directly related to the spine? Usually not, but you know, you can't pick up your glass of water or tea or whatever you're drinking without it hurting. You might have something going on. We'll check it and see.
So when you do an adjustment, it's is it just typically the spine, the neck, that's the target area, and you're not going to look at the other ones unless somebody says something. Yeah, also, doctor, I'm not like wrist is a little hurting today, or maybe a shoulder issue, or whatever. Somebody's got to present a challenge before you would go into those other areas.
Typically, yes. Sometimes, especially with neck, upper back, I may ask us like, "How's your shoulder been doing?" Now, well, kind of been clicking on me a little bit, and I'll just call it our innate intelligence. Something will just lead me in that direction. I was like, "You got something going on with your shoulder?" Well, yeah, it feels a little this. I was like, "All right, I'll finish the adjustment, adjust the shoulder." They're like, "Oh, yeah, that's a lot better." So, and then other times it's like, "Hey, doc, I was lifting weights and I kind of got my shoulder a little bit." We'll give it an adjustment, adjust their spine, their neck, and then check that shoulder. And sometimes I'll check the elbow just because they're connected.
Hmm.
But, usually it's them telling me that something's going on, but sometimes, especially with shoulders or maybe the hips, and I'm talking not the hips people think in the side or the back, the front hip where your leg bone goes into your pelvis. Sometimes that gets off. And I was like, this feels off. This feels pretty good, but what's going on here? Oh, well, I don't know. I'll give them a tug or I'll do a slight adjustment. And they go, oh, yeah, that feels better.
Do you know right away, typically, like let's say somebody's before you, they're on the bench, just even looking at their legs, the length of their legs, things like that. Like I'm sure you're like, all right, yeah, we got a problem here.
Yeah,
Right away.
hips
Yeah.
especially because they're
Yeah.
laying face down, and I'll walk up to them and their right hip will be, they might be tilted this way, and I'll kind of lift up on that left hip. And I was like, do you feel straight or crooked? They go, well, I'm leaning that way. Well, no, now you're straight. And they're going, well, I'm straight. And I'm like, yeah. So I know they've got a hip or pelvic rotation going on. But yeah, you spot those off right off the bat. Leg lengths, they'll be off sometimes 3/4 of an inch. And a lot of times, if there's somebody with them, I'll go, hey, come over here, look at this. And they'll look and they'll go, ooh. It's like, yeah, they're way off. They go, and then they'll go and comment to them. It's like, man, how are you walking? So it's kind of fun when you do stuff like that.
Well, when you say like how you walking, we are so adaptable. So after time, your body compensates for the issue and you just
Mhm.
power on. Meanwhile, take a look at the soles of your shoes. Probably,
For sure.
including mine. Like I know I lean over to one side, if it's worn on that side. There's a reason.
Mhm.
It's not just I just lean to that side. And I'm even sure you look at shoulders and can tell right away what somebody's got going on.
But you look at posture, you go to any elementary, junior high, or high school, picking up the grandkids or my daughters from school, and they got the backpacks and they're all crunched over, and that backpack's way down low on their back, and it's just bouncing off the backside, and they're walking. I was like, oh, they're just destroying themselves. But
Oof.
or you stand in line at the grocery store, and you just look, you got the forward head posture, the shoulders are rounded forward, and they might be. I was like, oh, here's my card.
I don't even want to turn sideways because I know for a fact that I am that person with the head that goes forward. Why do we do that? Is it?
One of the reasons,
Yeah.
computers. We sit on the computer all day. We drive. We sit on our phones, and people don't, get on their phone. They're not up like this. they're usually down like this. So everything we do is forward. Our next curve should be going backwards like this. So, if this is all we do for 8 hours a day is work on a computer, and we start off nice and good. We're up proper. Next thing you know, we're up here at the screen and we're doing this. So there's your forward head posture coming.
And once again, we're adaptable. So you don't even know you're doing it. And then if you put your shoulders back, and I have a friend who's a trainer, and she'll always say, soldier proud, which means sit up straight. It almost feels like it's off, like that's the wrong way to be doing it because it's so foreign to you.
Yeah, everything gets tight. The pec muscles get short. You go, you work out and you get that soreness right in through here after workout. People that don't work out and they got their shoulders rolled, and I'll have them pull their shoulders back and I'll give them a poke right there. Oh, what are you doing? Like, hurts, doesn't it? Well, yeah, pull your shoulders back. Let's work on that posture. Give you some exercises to do. Roll on the towel, get the foam rollers, the round foam rollers, go long ways, lay on and stretch the back like this. Little things like that can not going to fix it by any means, but it will help keep you, reminded that we need to do this instead of this. So, I'll pick, I talk to my patients or I tell them, I'm just going to pick on you. That's what I do. Shoulders back. Got me again. I say, yeah, I'll get you.
So I bought one of those rollers like a year or two ago, used it once for 5 minutes, and then just never got back to it. But now you're inspiring me to pull it out of the closet. So take it long ways and put it on your back and get on the floor.
Yeah, right up and down the spine.
Okay.
And your shoulders will be able to kind of go back. And if you put the top of it at the top of your back, you'll be able to lay your head back, hold back for 10, 15, 20 seconds or so. You can kind of roll side to side if you wanted to kind of work those muscles. Go back, come up, kind of stretch it out, go back, do it again. Do that a handful of times. And, do your foam if you want to roll up and down the spine long ways or sideways.
Sure.
You can do that. But, do that, 2 days, let it rest a day. Do it 2 days, let it rest a day. Just alternate it. Allow your body to heal up and, try to figure out what its next step needs to be.
Is it a bad thing to crack your neck?
Not my favorite thing to do or have people do. I got literally patients will talk to me. They'll say, how's everything going? I say, well, come my neck. And they'll go, wank. I'm like, you just did that, didn't you? And they go, what? They have no idea what they just did because it's such a habit. And basically what I tell them is you've got your spinal bones that are stacked on top of each other. You've got little muscles that connect them. You've got ligaments and tendons and everything that's holding everything. I want a tight spine. I don't want a stuck or restricted spine. So you pop your neck all the time, pop, 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 multiple times throughout the day. Those ligaments and tendons and those muscles start to get a little bit loose. And you're typically mobilizing the joint that's going to move anyway. You're not moving that joint that's stuck. So you're actually creating more of a problem. It can potentially accelerate the degenerative process because you're just like a paper clip, 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 clip. Eventually that paper clip's going to break. Neck's not going to break, but you get what I call a loosey-goosey neck. You just have a slip or fall, or you get in a car wreck, your chances of injury go up, or more significant injuries go up. So I try to encourage my patients, let me do the popping, you do the healing.
So why does it feel better if you crack your neck? And, I've done it, I can't do it all the time, but when I do, it's like, oh, it feels a little bit better, but you're not really targeting where the issue is, it sounds like.
No, you get what they call the endorphin and Kaplan rush. So whenever you pop your knuckles, I don't mind. If you want to pop knuckles all day long. I've been doing mine since I was a little bitty kid. And my knuckles aren't any bigger except for gaming them and football and basketball and things like that. When your joints pop, it releases the endorphins and enkephalins. That's where after you get that adjustment, you sometimes get that little head rush or that little euphoric, like, oh. and they just want to lay there for a second. That's that little endorphin and Kepler rush. Those are your body's natural pain relievers. That's why it feels good. People do it and they go, oh, and they feel better. And then an hour or two later, crank, crank, and they crank on it again. Ah, a couple hours later, clink, clink. So it's that little natural pain reliever,
Huh.
that you get.
After all this time, I've never heard that. It took all this time for somebody to actually explain why that feels good and why you
Mhm.
shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
And yeah, whenever you get, every once in a while you get that really good deep adjustment in the neck, they'll go, oh wow. It's like, yeah, that clunked good. You needed that. And they'll sit up and they'll go, wait a minute. They get that little woo woo. Okay, I'm good now. Takes about 3 to 5 seconds, and their senses kind of come back together. But every once in a while, you get that good, you know, deep adjustment, especially if they're really stuck, whether it's the neck or the hip or low back or whatever, and you finally get it to release. Sometimes it's their fourth or fifth adjustment, and we've been working on this challenge, and finally it gives and it releases, and they're like, there it is. And they're like, yes, oh my goodness, ooh, and they get that little
Mm,
euphoric little
wow.
um, buzz or high or whatever you want to call
Sure.
it,
Sure.
and they kind of settle in. I go, make sure your ice really good. We'll see you in a few days.
I'll go outside and smoke a cigarette. No, just
Go.
kidding. Never. Um, have there been times where somebody's come to you, yeah, a couple of sessions, three, and whatever whatever's going on there hasn't been released, but then it finally releases.
All the time.
Wow.
Yeah, especially if you've never been adjusted or you had an injury or ribs, for example. I adjust ribs all the time. Man, this thing's been bothering me for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks now, and ribs are very stubborn. I call them the redheaded stepchild. They're just mean, ornery, and they just don't want to listen to nobody.
Wow.
And sometimes it takes a while before it releases. Sometimes it'll release and it comes right back. Releases, comes right back, and those muscles are just so tight that it's just not letting the body relax and you know hold. So that's when I would send them back to the massage therapist. Hey, let's work on this area, or make sure you ice that really good. After we get it adjusted. But it's usually somebody that's been a long time since they've been adjusted, or they've never been adjusted, and they come in and they're 40, 45 years old. They may adjust pretty good. They may not adjust. They may adjust like a 2x4. It's like, well, not a whole lot gave, but let's see how you do. Ice. We'll see in a couple days, and we'll try again. So sometimes it's like, you might have a little bit more than what we can manage at my office. Let's get you over to an office. They do more physical therapy. They have some other equipment that might help calm things down. That's typically, trauma type stuff where,
Mm.
and I think you need a little bit more than just the wellness adjustment and massage. You need some therapy and stuff like that.
I've learned so much today. I got to tell you, David, thank you. Like
Oh, absolutely.
seriously,
You're welcome.
yeah, all this time, these dispelling myths and the whole process of what's actually going on during an adjustment and also massage therapy. You are located in North Richland Hills, Texas. You have memberships available, which are so amazingly cost effective for chiropractic care. Uh,
Well,
it's so worth it.
I I've also added massage memberships. I was going to start it in September, but I was like, nah, let's get it started now. So if you just want to come in and do massage, I have a membership for that. If you want to do chiropractic and massage, I have a membership for that. So I technically have three different memberships going now. So I'll have my flyers done here in a little bit. I got to do on a design and do what I want to do with that. So, but yeah, it's helping people, you know, and some people want to get regular care and they can't afford to go to the, $50, $60 adjustment doctor. And that's what we want to do, help everybody.
So worth it. I'm in the New York area, suburb of, waiting for it to come here because and I thought where I was going was reasonable, and it is.
Oh, absolutely.
But looking at your numbers, it's so incredibly worth it. The membership, even if you go a couple of times a month, it's so worth it. Spine-spot.com. I have that right?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Thank you so much for today. Again, learned so much, and looking forward when we get a chance to get together again.
All right. Absolutely, Steve. Have a good one.
You too.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.